What is up, you guys? The Fallout Widdiff here, and I am actually screwing up right now due to the fact that I really forgot how to... Yeah, hold on. Oh, man, something got caught. But anyway. So, this is going to be what if Deku was... what if Ruby was in this whole universe? Or basically, what if Ruby, the freaking anime, cartoon, whatever you want to call it, what if some of the ideas and some of the concepts of it, of everything, was in here? And I thought about it, I was like, yeah, there should be Grimm, those creatures, and there should be villains. And, before I even go there, I saw the freaking comments, and yeah, Team Ruby and Weiss wins. So basically it's going to be Deku x Ruby and Weiss. And the ones who actually got them, or it was supposed to be me deciding on 100 flips of a coin. But then I saw the comments, I was like, oh jeez, everybody was so close. Everything was done. Everything was so done right there. But then it was like, ah, man. It's like, then your votes wouldn't actually count. And I thought, no. So whoever got... So I didn't care, actually, who was going to be the one who goes out with Deku. But since it's both, if you guys are mad, I understand. If you guys aren't, and you guys are probably a bunch of perverts, I'm not mad about that either. It's just what it is in life. But anyway. So... Deku goes in, is trained already by Crow. Ruby has been training with him, and how you say it? I think Yang tells Ruby that she has a feeling that Deku has a little bit of a crush on him, but Deku does. But he also thinks about that chick. Who's that chick? Weiss. The person who he's talked to, and who showed him a bunch of powder and all that stuff about the powders that are around everywhere. Since she and Deku played around with that, Deku has fond memories of that, and with Ruby, basically both when they were kids. And that's kind of racist. Hey, I did not. Oh, jeez. Hey, that wasn't my fault. Okay, technically that was my fault. But I didn't mean to do all that. But anyway, before I even go there, I just wanted to say, if you guys do want to shout out, how you said, there will be reasons for me to give you shout outs. But the next time, please don't try to give me a shout out or shout me out on the next video or something like that, because I really don't do that. And I like the fact that you guys say first comment, but yeah, it doesn't actually, like, it doesn't hold weight with me. I understand if you guys would still do it, but don't think you guys are automatically going to be my favorites. I don't know how to explain this, but I'm just saying, if you guys do get shout out, there'll be reasons why I shout you out, and ideas and all that stuff, I will shout you out. But if you guys automatically just tell me to shout you out for the heck of it, now I don't actually do that. I understand if you guys, I don't know who does that, but just know I don't do that, all right? Like, if I shout out Rico Toa, Last of Us, Brett Cross, and a few other people, that's because they've been giving me ideas. Not only that, they've been the ones who've been automatically, like, just giving me idea from time to time, and I appreciate that all right? So, with that being said, that's pretty much it. Now, before we even go there, Deku has been training, and he has been training doing a lot of stuff. I don't know if give me a second there. Sheesh. So I just did a quick analysis of all the episode that I did, And I also saw one of the comments that you put out. Deku is going to have his fire quirk for this one, but it's not going to be shown as a fire quirk. How you say it? At first, people think it will probably be from his weapons, but no. He has something. His aura can sometimes spark into fire. Him not going to have, or him having the cape or the hood and all that stuff. But how you say it? When he gets mad, or if he becomes much more protective, or something like that. How you say it? What's it called? Oh yeah, hold on, give me a second. Just edit that out. I really can't edit it out or something like that due to the fact that I don't have an editor thing, or I kind of do, but I'm not actually good with editing. And not only that, I technically deleted the video, so by doing that, I really can't actually do that. Sorry, but anyway. Deku, how you say it, having when his emotions kind of get up, or if he becomes serious, fire will sometimes come out, or how you say it, like rubies, like roses coming out. It's basically ashes or embers of fire coming out. So yeah, Deku has been training with her, and now it's time for the UA entrance exam. So that happens, and Deku, let's just say, he becomes a bit more confident, so he doesn't trip. And he actually bumps into Weiss. Weiss saying, watch where you're going. And Deku's like, oh, sheesh, just a bad example of what happens when I don't pay attention. But the whole thing with freaking President Mike explaining everything, he also explains that Grim will be also, some Grim will be there, and some robots will be there as well. So yeah, there will also be the 0 pointer, and everything will go pretty much different. Now, Deku is kind of pumped because he can use his gear at its full extent. Because if you just use your weapons or something like that out of nowhere, yeah, pretty much that will happen. All right. So, let's see. Okay. So Deku just hears the ready, set, go thing, and he starts blitzing everything, running as fast as he can, but Ruby tailing him due to the fact that both of them usually work as a team, and how you say it, both of them have been trained by Crow, so they're going to be fast. Deku running and fire coming on his side of the his side of the street, and Ruby's pedals going around that side of the street. All Might and the others see what Deku and this other girl are doing, and they see that Ruby has a scythe, and so does Deku, but they also see him having some weird things around his ankles, and basically his bracelets around his arms, and it turning into gauntlets due to the fact that now there's a Grim charging at Deku. Deku jumping over it, having the freaking scythe go on its back, or stabbing its back, and basically him now throwing it to the freaking, how do I say it, what's it called, throwing the Grim to the robot, and him scoring some points. Now, there's all sorts of Grim besides the freaking mammoths, or the freaking serpent, and no, the scorpion and the bird aren't there due to the fact that they wouldn't actually have freaking Grim that will be freaking going around the place. So they just have snakes and like the ones that can crawl, like the little wolves and the bears, stuff like that. Deku punching and slashing his way out of everywhere, blood all over the floor, and people seeing how scary what's called hunters can be. just trying to hit the robots because, yeah, they wanted to be heroes, not hunters. But Deku's striving for both, so he's hurting robots, Grim. He's destroying a lot of things. Ruby as well, doing a lot, just mostly focusing on Grim. That's her specialty, or what she wants to be. She wants to be a huntress, but Deku wants to be a hero and a hunter, or the first ever hybrid. So, him just killing and doing a lot more damage to all the things. The Zero Pointer comes up, and let's say, instead of Ruby or freaking Uraraka, it's Weiss. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheesy, but I had to establish something, and I'm not that smart, so I thought of this. Now, Deku just goes around and basically tries to go up the freaking Zero Pointer, but there's Grim on the floor, so he has to just think of he thinks of an idea. Basically, what's called shooting all the Grim while shooting the feet of the freaking, or the whatever it is, the tracks on the freaking Zero Pointer. Him shooting all the freaking Grim that he can see, and Ruby right there, just like being like the how you say it, being freaking bait, or how you say it, being the person that distraction. Being a distraction, Deku now running up to the freaking robot, him shooting up in the freaking, him shooting his gun up, or his gun down, basically making him run faster up, running up the freaking Zero Pointer, running up the Zero Pointer even faster, and trying to slash the head. Him trying to shoot or hit the freaking Zero Pointer's head, punching him, kicking him, doing a lot of damage. But this is when he grabs the freaking Zero Pointer's head with his scythe, and he's now swinging up and down, basically going a 360 around the Zero Pointer's neck. And this is when he's using his feet to basically now shoot his body up, or basically going around faster and faster and faster. This happening, and the Zero Pointer's head is basically cleaved off. Now, everybody sees this. They don't see him as very strong, but they do see that he basically did that to a Zero Pointer, while none of them actually do it. Timer goes off, and this is when Deku starts to use his physical strength and picks up the rubble around her. Weiss saying thank you, and Deku saying no problem, with a goofy smile. Weiss seeing this, but not kind of remembering the kid that she met, but not enough. So, that happens. Deku just goes around talking to freaking Ruby, saying that they won. So, instead of Uraraka, it's basically Ruby. And Mineta and Hagakure aren't there anymore. It's basically Ruby and Weiss. What else? Oh, yeah, okay. That happens, and now the class of 1A, hold on, give me a second here. Alright, I just got out of the restroom here, and now I'm here. So, everybody is doing their own thing, and there's going to be different actual teachings, due to the fact the dude that drinks coffee a lot, the guy who talks about his battles, and I think I'm missing somebody else. I really don't know all the teachers. And the girl who can basically refix things or rewind things to a certain point. Yeah, basically, how you say it, that happens. Now, Deku is going to be between Weiss and freaking Ruby. Both are talking to him, especially Weiss, because she's thanking him, and how you say it, Ruby is kind of getting jealous due to the fact that her sister Yang told him about, how you say it, to try to get him, or try to confess to him, so that way no other girl can try to grab him. That happens, and yeah, pretty much it's kind of going to be a little tricky, Weiss does use her freaking what's it called, Clefion, or basically her a French sword, and they all hide their weapons because Aizawa has now other teachers with him, and basically these two are the opposite. It's basically the sleepyhead and the freaking coffee addict, and somebody who's loud. So Aizawa's like, oh, okay. And the classroom is much more different. I thought about it, and I wanted it to be the same way as it was in RWBY, because, like I said, I haven't watched all the other episodes, but I have a general idea of it all. So there's no actual thief of there's no actual thief or that dude with the top hat. And like I said, the faunas aren't actually being abused anymore due to the fact that everybody has powers now, or a lot of people have powers. Now, what is going to happen is Deku, how you say it, is first place due to the fact that his killing, or whatever whatever he showed in front of everybody, yeah, he basically destroyed so much freaking robots and killed so much Grim that he's got a outstanding 300 points. Actually, more than All Might's. Everybody's scared due to the fact that this kid really used that weapon, and freaking Ruby says, oh, it's called the Harbinger, but Deku calls it the Harvester. Them all asking why do they call it the Harvester, and this is when everybody asks him the question, and Deku just says, well, it's a way to what's called, it basically means that I'm gathering all the souls that I kill. And all of them are like, okay, so this kid has a weird mentality, but Deku doesn't see it like that. He just says it how it is. And now when we do the freaking what's this so was the quirk apprehension test, and now Deku is first place. He basically does all the things besides oh no, never mind. He actually gets first place on the freaking side to side lunges because he's actually using his freaking gauntlets, or no, he's using his foot supports, which they can use for some tests. Ruby and Weiss technically like getting high grades. Deku, the jump test, it's no, it's not Deku. Basically because freaking Katsuki's quirk and freaking Uraraka's quirk. So that, the grip strength, he's second place due to the fact that freaking Shinso got at least 2 more pounds ahead of him. Because Deku's really strong in this one. He's not going to be a weakling. Now, let's see. The freaking, the ball throw, he gets up to, he's third place due to Katsuki shooting it. But due to Deku's speed and all that stuff, he still has a good mark on him. So, yeah, pretty much that happens. And now we get to the Heroes versus Villains exam. It's Deku, Weiss versus Katsuki, and freaking, let's see, Uraraka. Let's just put her there. Things are different, and I want to change the things up a bit. So, that all happens. Deku is now attacking, or he's walking with Weiss, them talking, and her saying, like I said, I wanted to thank you for helping me, but don't think this means I like you or anything. There's a certain boy I like, and I want to actually meet him soon. Deku saying, oh, really? That's nice. What does he look like? Weiss saying, oh, he has green hair. And Deku's like, uh-huh. He has freckles, I think. I really don't know. And Deku's like, I got freckles. Freaking, her saying, he also was freaking Me and him played with Dust. Deku's like, Dust? I kind of remember that a while ago. And basically her being oblivious due to the fact that she's not actually looking at Deku right now. She's just talking and wandering off to space. And she also says, he saved me once. It was a car, and Deku said, but he pushed you out of the way. And this is when White says, how did you? And Deku's like, hello, Weiss. It's been a long time. Weiss kind of blushing and just basically getting flustered, her not knowing what to do. But thank heavens Katsuki was there, because now he's just shooting into the place saying, Deku, and all that stuff. So now it's Deku versus Katsuki. Deku's ammo is basically air bullets, which would be, it's not lethal for anybody. And Deku has a mode on his harvester, which basically makes sure that it's on blunt mode. So there's a cover around it that's used if you have to fight humans. So Deku is now fighting him using the gauntlets, and Bakugo using his freaking blast, his grenade gauntlets. Just both of them fighting each other. But this is when Deku dodges and kicks him in the face while using the air gauntlets, pushing him high up in the air and hitting the ceiling. And this is when Deku says, Weiss, this is no time for you to get blushing right now. I don't know why you're pink, but we have to go right now. And Weiss says, yeah. And Deku's like, all right, so let's just keep running. And Weiss says, but wait a minute, what about that dude? And Deku's like, what dude? And she says, Katsuki. And he looks and says, Katsuki's going to be knocked out for, this is when Bakugo kicks him in the face, basically almost kicking him in the chin. Deku is basically shivering and, how you say it, due to the fact that he just got hit so hard that his brain is rattling. Him not trying to, like, how you say it, him getting up his feet and not trying to drop down tells freaking Weiss to go ahead, because there's a girl that I know that you could probably beat. Her name is Uraraka. Just make sure you go easy on her. Weiss says, and Deku says, hurry up now. Weiss saying, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. And this is when Ruby's like, wait, why is she... Didn't she act rude towards all of us, and now she's acting okay with him? What's going on here? But this is when Deku's like, alright, Katsuki, it's been a long time, but you managed to damage me. Proud of you. This is when Katsuki's like, yeah, I've been beating you up for a long time. This is going to be easy peasy. But Deku's like, yeah, but I kind of let you beat me up all those times. Katsuki's saying, no, you didn't. You just kept, taking it like a, you just kept getting hit and not doing a thing. Deku's saying, yeah, that's because I didn't want to fight. We're not supposed to fight in school. Katsuki is like, wait a minute. You bastard! And this is when freaking Deku's like, yeah, I should have told you this, but we're not supposed to fight in class. Ruby's all like, yes, him following the rules sometimes got him into a lot of trouble. And this is when Deku's like, yeah, we're not supposed to fight, so let's just fight here since it's technically now the rules are telling us to. Katsuki's like getting mad and just charging up at him. Him using one of his gauntlets, the energy of the gauntlets, and Deku's dodge. Technically, Deku just kept shooting the freaking air bullets to the freaking fire or the blast, just well enough that Deku isn't actually dead. Now that happens, Deku just maneuvers him and starts kicking him. This is when Deku flips back and forth, or flips a lot of, or does a backflip, like probably 4 times, and this is when he uses his scythe, shooting it now, basically him running towards him, trying to hit Bakugo. Bakugo's trying to dodge, but since Deku can also jump in the air with his foot supports, Deku gets basically a weird lariat, or something that A would do to, how you say, his victims, that he did to Sasuke. Basically that happening, but with Deku's scythe hitting Bakugo. Bakugo feeling all this pain, and due to the fact that he broke probably a bone inside of him fainting, and Deku's like, whew, glad that's over with. And basically Weiss, how you say it, stopped Uraraka by freezing her with the ice, let's call it shards, an ice crystal. Yeah, a shard of an ice crystal. Freezing Uraraka up, but not all the way up to her freaking whole body. Just enough so that way she won't be able to move. And yeah, that happens. Now, freaking they win. That's pretty much it. And now here goes the USJ attack. So, everything happens, them talking to Deku, what is his quirk? Deku saying he technically has a quirk, but it's not really him not actually he's not been able to unlock it for a very long time, but now that he trained very hard, he has basically a weird fire quirk that goes around his body basically like an aura. And they also see his eyes having fire inside of it like candle lights. But the more mad he gets, the more it changes. Instead of a candlelight, it will turn into like how you say a chimney lights or a chimney fire, showing a bit more fire into it. And if he gets very mad to a point of insanity, it turns into a forest fire. So it kind of looking like fire going all around the building. But if he reaches 100% of his full max while being angry, he reaches Hell Zone, which is a kind of place that I just made up, and basically anything else that I just said. So now that happens, Deku is fighting freaking, hold on, give me a second here. Okay, so, like I said, that all happens, and Deku is now talking to freaking 13. Everything happens, except for now that Weiss is going to be replacing Mineta, and Ruby is going to be somewhere else, wherever her Hagakure was at. So yeah, now it's Mineta, no, it's Weiss, Deku, and freaking Froppy. All of that happens. Deku just talking, saying, alright, this is what I have to do. Weiss, I'll need your help on this, because we're going to need a lot of ice crystals. I got some saved up in my pack right here, and I'm going to need you to help me out here. Her saying, okay, so what do we have to do? Deku says, here, save one for later. Or take a couple, I'll just see you guys on the other side. And they, freaking Weiss and Froppy are like, what's going on here? This is when Deku just goes up and he goes inside the water, but him now shooting ice from all of his body, basically doing a weird tornado of kicking and, what's it called? Tornado of punches and kicks full of ice. And how you say it? There's ice going around all over the place, freezing a lot of the villains and freezing a lot of the water. So Deku just made it turn into a bunch of ice cubes in a soda. So that happens. Deku just going up and saying, this is so cold. All right, we got it. And Froppy carries Deku, but her feeling the effects of the cold, her being a little tired. And this is when freaking Deku gets up in the air and says, all right. Yeah, geez, I'm going to get sick soon. And this is when Shigaraki tries to attack freaking Froppy. Weiss seeing this and tries to stab Shigaraki, the Nomu protecting him, and Deku was caught jumping and slashing freaking Nomu in the freaking head. And basically, the Nomu's gonna have to regenerate, not a head, but he has to regenerate his whole body, which gives him time. And why his body, not his head? Well, because it's the brain that's taking control. So that means the body doesn't have any more use for... the body is basically now disintegrating, while the head is basically trying to remake a whole body, which will take a good 3 minutes. But Deku is now trying to attack Shigaraki. Shigaraki trying to move away. But this is when the freaking Kurogiri teleports Shigaraki to him. Weiss is saying, "Are you okay?" Deku saying, "Yeah, I'm okay." And Froppy is like, "Yeah, I'm okay, Kata." And basically all that happens. Now, Deku is running around attacking the villains, and the Nomu's almost done regenerating. Deku saying, "Ah, crap! We should have done something else." And this is when Ruby's like, I know, we have to try to kill him." And this is when Deku's like, "Ruby, what are you doing here?" She's saying, "Yeah, the villains were kind of easy to kill, but it was the freaking Grimm that I had to worry about." Deku's like, "Wait a minute, Grimm? What are you talking about?" This is when she says, "Oh yeah, there was actually Grimm around the place. I think they teleported them." Deku's like, "Ah, crap, I should have known this is going to happen." Weiss, Ruby, we need to try to defend the freaking kids or the students due to the fact that they don't know as much about Grimm as we do. And yeah, this all happens. Deku saying, "All right, we have to do something and fast." But here's the thing, the heroes are actually getting there a bit more faster due to the fact that, how you say it, what's his face? The principal from freaking Ruby, or the headmaster, basically said, "Hey, Nezu, I think something bad's going to happen. I think we should send out a couple of heroes and some hunters to come in." Nezu saying, "Well, yeah, I think so. Probably. Let's just send some of the heroes out and make sure nothing happens." Because the person, like I said, I forgot what his name is very smart. Or the principal in Ruby is very smart, so he would know stuff like this. So yeah, now the heroes are getting there a bit more faster. Ida's going to meet up with them and confirm the whole story. But this is when Deku is now taking care of the Nomu. Him slashing at him, punching him, kicking him, breaking his sense of gravity, or breaking, the sense of gravity. Deku is, how you say it, going around and fighting freaking the Nomu. Ruby is taking care of the Grimm while Weiss is helping and fight the villains. Yeah, pretty much. No. Yeah, Weiss is fighting the villains. Todoroki and Bakugo are doing their own thing. Freaking Kirishima's doing his own thing too. Everybody's doing a lot more due to the fact that they're kind of inspired by sometimes hunters like fighting back the villains. So yeah, not all of them are going to be 100%, but yeah, it's pretty much good. Now, this is when Ruby is done with the Grimm because no more seems to come out. And she has to help Deku fight freaking Nomu. Now, All Might is still injured. All Might is still going to be injured. So the fact that he's rushed actually shortens his time limit, or he doesn't have a lot of time left right now to fight. But he's going to do all he can. So he says, "I am here. You villains. All of you have been trying to fight the weak, or trying to fight innocent children. This is when Shigaraki's like, children, innocent. That boy right there was trying to kill me. And the girl right there in white hair was trying to attack, what's called strike my neck. But my Nomu took care of, took the hit. And this is when Deku says, she's not aiming to be a hunter, or I mean a hero. She's aiming to be a huntress. So is the girl in red. And me, I'm going to be both. But because of you trying to kill innocent kids, or the rest of these people, you're no different, even though I might be a killer, you're still scum. Then Shigaraki's like, how dare you? Nomu, kill him. This is when the Nomu tries to attack him, but All Might succeeds in protecting Deku. Now the fight happens differently. Deku is still fighting trying to fight the other villains because he thinks, okay, All Might's got this, nothing can go wrong. But due to All Might's weakness, or due to his time limit, he's fighting on borrowed time, literally. So, 3 minutes have passed, and already All Might's down on the ground, trying to protect himself. This is when Deku's like, oh crap. Running to the freaking Nomu. This is when Shigaraki says, oh no you don't. But this is when Katsuki says, oh yes he is. And he's trying to blast it and says, don't think that I forgive you, Deku. I'm still going to kill you. And this is when Deku's like, oh jeez, just lighten up, Katsuki. And yeah, that all happens. Deku's slashing him on the back, cutting him down, and basically the Nomu's getting up and trying to hit Deku. This is when All Might has to run somewhere where he's not going to get caught. And even though he's mad about this, he also knows that if they find out soon that he's the same as before, or if they find out that he's weak already, they will tell All For One, and yeah, things will be different. So he runs, and Ruby's now helping Deku. Both of them attacking as much as they can, dodging the hits. The heroes are almost there, but this is when Deku and Ruby say, this is when Deku says, Ruby, remember that time with the big fat Grim? And Ruby's like, you mean, what are you talking about? Deku says, remember in camp when Crow was telling us how to fight the big one? Ruby's like, yeah, what about it? Oh, wow. Well, do you think that'll work? Deku's all like, how you say it? Deku is told, Deku is telling her, yeah, it's going to work. Just trust me on this. And I don't know what song pops up. I think the first one. And basically now the montage happens. Deku is jumping up in the air while Ruby is hitting him on his sides. Deku jumping up on his feet and trying to get a bunch of freaking what's that called? A bunch of distance between them. And Deku shooting him in the head, or basically in his freaking face. Not in the brain, not just yet. Deku is shooting him, distracting him. Ice bullets, fire bullets, wind bullets. Using all of the bullets that he can. And basically that happens. Give me a second. So now both of them are getting a lot of space due to the fact that the Nomu is going around freaking running. Or no, the Nomu's like in one place. Them shooting at the Nomu, and basically he's frozen on fire, and basically been put parts of him have been encaved, or some of his body parts are encaved due to the fact the wind pressure bullets actually on high speed, or what's called high tier wind bullets, can technically kill you if possible. Now, both of them running towards the Nomu, shooting their guns, freaking all the way, or shooting their guns, gaining a lot of speed, and basically doing a weird kind of move. Lariat X crossing, which both of them hit their scythes against the freaking Nomu, around his head where his brain is at, around his body as well, and basically doing a double X on the Nomu's body and the Nomu's face. Him being carved up into a lot of pieces. Deku not done yet, saying this guy might regenerate, so I have a plan for it. Him using all of his freaking firepower on the Nomu's freaking dismembered body, using all the fire that he has on it, and basically burning the Nomu up, turning it into ash, and that's all that happens. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I'm going to do right now. Like, comment, and do subscribe to the channel, as always. And this is the Fallout Whatever here. Bye.